Hello everybody, welcome to the Nex-Tech pregame show. We're in Phillipsburg, Kansas tonight to start off the 2025 high school football season, with the Cardinals of Plainville coming to town to take on the Phillipsburg Panthers. I'm Steve Stoltz alongside my partner Tate Reynolds. And Tate, Plainville enters 2025 ranked number 5 in Class 1A by Kansas pregame. And the Cardinals return with 10 starters this year, returning on both sides of the ball. And they're looking to build on last year's 8-3 season and a Class 1A state quarterfinal appearance. Senior Drayden Puckett leads the way after rushing over 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns last year, Tate, earning Sports and Kansas All-State honors. Junior quarterback Joey Tentino returns to guide a skilled offense, and the defense brings back nearly its entire core from last year's campaign. Third-year head coach and 2025 Kansas Shrine Bowl assistant coach Alex McMillan will admit that while they have great players in their skills positions, well, their weaknesses are on their front line in the depth of their offensive line. So, Tate, how do you see Plainville tonight managing that challenge against a very physical Phillipsburg team?
Well, first off, like you mentioned, Steve, Plainville's got a lot of weapons on the offensive side. Between Dentino and also Drayden Puckett, of course, they're going to have to compete on the ground, I think, tonight, especially Puckett at 1,500 yards last year. He's looking to continue that this year. Dentino, an excellent quarterback under center. So that's going to be one way they're going to have to fight. Also, against a physical team like Phillipsburg, this game is going to come down to on-the-ground football.
Absolutely. And one of the guys up front who could make a big difference in tonight's game is senior linebacker Riddick Bethel. He's somebody to watch tonight on both sides of the ball, actually, after earning the Sports in Kansas 1A All-State honors last year. This guy's a 250-pound senior. He totaled over 45 tackles last year, along with 2 sacks, and probably the big stat is the 4 forced fumbles. So the Cardinals are going to need a big game from him tonight, Tate. And despite Plainville's 8-3 record last year, they had some serious issues with some turnovers. And if Plainville plans on winning this game tonight, they're going to have to improve ball security immensely, Tate.
Yeah, turnovers are a big part of a football game. It can win or lose you games. I mean, Plainville having the struggles last year they did with turnovers, you can't afford those turnovers against a team like Phillipsburg, because as soon as they get back on the ball, they're going to be trying to tire out your defense on the ground. So
that's right.
I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Well, meanwhile, the Phillipsburg Panthers, they're looking to build on a 6-4 season from last year that included a playoff win over Kingman, and they returned to this 2025 campaign, Tate, under third-year head coach Ross Coombs. Now, the Panthers have had Plainville's number lately, winning the last 3 matchups, including a 14-0 shutout last year. So Phillipsburg, they returned 6 starters on offense, including state hurdles champion Tanner Hornick, who takes over as the primary back after averaging nearly 12 yards a carry last year. The offensive line, however, they returned just 2 starters. So that'll be something that we're going to have to watch tonight. Senior quarterback Colin Springer is back under the center for the Panthers, and look for him to continue to run the ball. He scored 7 rushing touchdowns last year for the Panthers. And take this Phillipsburg team has speed, they've got experience, and recent success against Plainville. Like I said, 3 wins in a row.
Yep.
What does Phillipsburg tonight need to do to keep that streak alive?
Well, like you said, they're on a 3-2 record over the last 5 years over Plainville, and I'm sure Plainville's not too happy about that. As soon as Phillipsburg gets the ball, like I mentioned a little bit ago, they're going to need to run the ball. They got to tire it out Plainville, because that's the way that they've had success in the recent years, and I know they want to keep the streak going against this rivalry Plainville, and I'm sure Plainville wants to break it. So I think the run game is going to be huge.
Absolutely. Plainville is not ranked number 5 in the state preseason for nothing. So while Phillipsburg is not ranked in the top 5 for Class 2A by Kansas pregame, they are getting some nods with several more seniors returning. Cleveland Corman is going to come back at wide receiver alongside Blaze Christie and Cole Shelton leading the way in the trenches for Phillipsburg. So, Tate, it looks like it's going to be a heck of a matchup between these two rivals. They play every single year.
Yep.
What do you feel the keys to the game are tonight for both teams?
Well, I might sound like a broken record, but honestly, it's going to be running the football. I genuinely think that Plainville with their offense, they're going to have to run the ball, maybe air it out a few times to surprise Phillipsburg. Phillipsburg, you know they're going to run the ball a lot. So one of the big keys, I think, is going to be defense. You're going to want to get your offense back on the field. You can score points, and that's going to be on both sides, of course. And these two teams, they play each other in football once a year. They play each other probably 3 or 4 times in basketball. I mean, they have a lot of experience going up against one another, and it seems like they're always at the top of the MCL in everything they do. So it's going to be a nail-biter tonight, I'm feeling, Steve.
I would agree with you, Tate. So that's going to do it for tonight's Nex-Tech Game Time pregame show. Coming up next, we're going to give you the scouting reports, including interviews with the head coaches of both teams, followed by the kickoff as we officially launch the 2025 Kansas High School football season. You're watching Game Time on Nex-Tech.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes, from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
I've been lucky here. The Plainville kids, I mean, they camp out the night before the first night of weights, and I think we were about a 92% team attendance in the weight room. And I've always said that there's a big correlation in weight room attendance to your winning percentage, and it's usually pretty true. So we had a great summer, a lot of great attendance. A lot of guys didn't miss a single day, and hopefully that pays off. We had 7 seniors last year. We had a young man playing the Shrine Bowl, so we're definitely going to miss him. And we graduated quite a few of our receivers, but we bring a lot of our skill running back guys back, a lot of our line back, and so a lot of good pieces returning so far. But yeah, I think we'll be around the 34, 35 number team-wise, but like the worry kind of going the year was the receiving core, and we've kind of got some guys really stepping up and really kind of anchoring that position down and doing a nice job. I'm really happy with our defensive depth. We have a lot of guys that can play on the defensive side of the ball, and just, it's a little bit harder on my part, just trying to figure out which 11 guys give us our best chance to be successful, and it's just nice having that depth to be able to move those guys around. And offensively, we're trying to shore up our offensive line a little bit, but I feel like our skill position bring a lot of guys back, but we're still trying to create some depth on that offensive line. Yeah, Phillipsburg, I mean, they're a steady program. They did graduate quite a few guys and a couple All-State kids, and just watching some Jamboree film, I mean, they're replacing those guys. And but yeah, we were district champions last year in a very tough district with the Smith Centers and Oakleys and TMPs and stuff like that. And it's basically just the MCL just in our district. And my favorite part about coaching at Plainville is having to prepare every week. I mean, there's no weeks off in the MCL, and that's what's, I think, really special about being here. We've been stressing a lot of ball security. I thought that was kind of what hurt us last year. There's times where I think we beat Smith Center with 6 fumbles, and that's very fortunate for us. But I mean, that's just stuff we can't make those mistakes. And I think we did a pretty good job in the Jamboree, and hopefully that continues to get better, and ultimately just don't be yourself. I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand, but just the mistakes, the mental errors, all those kind of things, you just have to keep those to a minimum and do your job, and hopefully we got the winning score at the end of the day.
Yeah, I try to make it pretty easy on the kids over the summer. Don't ask a whole lot out of them other than just our weight room session in the morning. So as long as they come every single day for that, then we're good. Other than that, we only do our 1-week team camp. But yeah, our participation was great all summer. We ended at 92% as a team for summer attendance. We live 4 days a week, so they did a really good job with that. But then other than that, I try to give them as much free time as they can, because I feel like they need to have that time to rest and recover, and then also to get excited about football in the upcoming school year. Last year we had 39 on the team, and this year right now we have 42, and so we've gained a couple kids on our roster. Our junior class is kind of small right now, but our senior class we have 12. Now we did lose our top 7 tacklers off of last year's team, and so that'll be a big hole to fill, and we'll need to see some results pretty quickly from some new guys stepping into roles, especially defensively. We've got a pretty good core of guys who have been in the same spot for a few years now, and that definitely helps understanding the offense, understanding our defense. And so I feel like maybe it's been a little less teaching this year and a little more maybe perfecting our craft and technique and stuff like that. So that's exciting. We're not as big probably as we were last year. And so we got to rely on the fact that we know what we're doing, and so we can play fast and make sure that we're using the techniques that we're practicing. MCL is always tough. You know it's going to be week in, week out where you're going to see a tough physical brand of football. You're also going to see really good coaches. Like there's every single week, like you know that you're going to get the best shot that team has. I'd just say top to bottom, especially on the 11-man side in the MCL. Smith Center is going to be better than they were last year. Plainville's really tough. I mean, they're coming off a good season where they went to the quarterfinals. TMP, I think, is going to be much improved, and they've kind of been a thorn in our side the last few years. So not looking ahead, but the league is tough. Our district is tough. Like there's just tough football out here, and like I said, really good coaches that we got to compete against. Yeah, Plainville didn't lose a whole lot off of last year's team. They got some really good athletes. They got a good running back. Their quarterback's back. Their offensive line, they got some good linemen, athletic, that can move, get out in space, and still block people. So they look really good, especially on offense. Defensively, they're doing what seems like the same stuff that they've been doing in the past, which means that they understand their responsibilities. Their players understand that, and that's going to allow them to play a little more free because they're not thinking. So you know that Plainville's going to be well prepared. You know they're going to play physical, tough football, and so it's going to be a good challenge for us. We got to take care of the football and limit penalties. I'd say last year that game was really close, and those were two things that we kind of struggled with a little bit. Not necessarily, we didn't lose the ball, but fumbled snaps got us behind the chains, and then penalties did definitely hurt us last year. And so if we can clean those things up, that would give us a better shot.
A special thanks to our Plainville Game Time boosters, Wilkins Manufacturing, H&C Oil Operating, and Stahl's Products. These proud supporters stand behind the Plainville students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Mr. K's Food Town, First State Bank of Plainville, Norton, Hill City, Hoxie, and Holdridge, Nebraska, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Kansas high school football season. It's a beautiful night. I'm with Tate Reynolds. He's my partner in crime here. We're on top of the press box here at Panther Stadium. It's a beautiful early September night. And tell you what, Tate, you would fool me if I hadn't looked at the calendar in a while, because it almost feels like October. We both have jackets on.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. You know, you couldn't tell this was the beginning of September in the first week of football. 66 degrees outside here in Phillipsburg tonight. And man, it couldn't be a more perfect night for football.
Yeah, hardly a breeze at all, as Phillipsburg won the toss, and they elected to defer to the second half. And so let's get the 2025 season underway. Shields with the kickoff, as Plainville is going to be stopped inside their own 10-yard line. Little mishap there on the kickoff return, Tate.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to run like a little reverse, but you know, it was fumbled right off the start. Luckily, they're starting off with not good field positioning here inside the 10.
That's right, and that's Alex McMillan. That's not really how he wanted his season to start, but the fifth-ranked Plainville Cardinals are setting up shop at their own 7-yard line. There's a handoff. It goes to number 10. That's Crispin Myers, the 5'9", 170-pound sophomore. No gain on the play, brings up second down, Dave.
Yeah, nothing much going on here in the first play of the season. Second down and 10 coming up here for Plainville. We'll see, maybe they start off on the ground. I wonder how quickly they're going to go to the air here.
Last year, Phillipsburg finished with an 8-3 record under third-year head coach Alex McMillan. Shotgun formation. And it is another handoff to the left side. He's going to pick up a few yards, close to 5 yards on the play. Crispin Myers. Wiley and Shields on the defensive tackle, and that'll bring up a third and a manageable 4 yards for the Cardinals at their own, just inside their own 15-yard line.
We were talking about it earlier, you know, who's going to get the run game going first? Plainville's trying to pound the rock right now, but here comes a pass.
And I didn't see who got that handoff, but it is enough for a first down. That is number 5 for Plainville, and that would be Ari Patel, and Patel picks up about 8 yards to pick up the first down.
Yep, first pass play of the game. Quick little screen out to the right side. Patel takes it up there, first down and 10 Plainville. Nothing on there.
So the tackle, Myers with the carry around the left side, doesn't pick up any yards.
No, and Plainville's trying to get the ground game going, but so far Phillipsburg's holding them tight. So far only 6 yards on the ground, but you know, it's the first drive of the season. Plainville's got to start somewhere, and they're looking to try to get it off hot, but right now Phillipsburg playing good defense. Yeah, they tried to run that option right there, but that defensive end had it all completely shut down. There was nothing for Dentino to go with that. I probably would have handed that off, but now we're set up for a third down and long here. Now inside the 20 to 19.
So, Plainville looks to possibly put this one up in the air. And, you know, they've got some great running backs in their gun-throw style offense. Drayden Puckett and Trent Hoffman in the backfield. But they're going to be a pass play, a little inside screen, and nothing doing. Pick up 3 yards, get back to the original line of scrimmage. And that is it, Dave.
Yeah, they tried to run that screen. They had all the blockers in front of them, but they forgot one guy. And that's a big blow-up play there for Plainville. It's going to be a 4th down and 9 incoming here. So first, 3 downs, or 4th and out right here coming up. Phillipsburg's going to get the ball right back.
So the punter, I believe that's Dentino.
I think so.
Punt, it lands inside the Cardinal 50-yard line and down right there at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, if you're Phillipsburg right now, you're very happy about that punt and this field positioning that you're getting to start your season off with. Now into Plainville territory already at the 43. Let's see what Phillipsburg can do. You know they're going to come out running the ball. Let's see how quickly they can get off the ground.
Absolutely. So Phillipsburg under head coach Ross Coombs, his 3rd year with the program. Panthers went 6-4 last year. They bring back a strong senior class, 12 returning lettermen for the Panthers, as they lost their only playoff game last year, and they're looking to get a little deeper in the playoffs. Up the middle of the Hornet, And he breaks a few tackles, gets down to the 30-yard line for a gain of 13 yards, and that's a Panther first down.
Yeah, look at that. Quickly, Plainville off the blocks in the three-point stance in the backfield. Right away, 13 yards and another first down. Phillipsburg, you're going to see him run the ball, like we said several times, but man, if it works, don't fix it.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. That's only the first play, of course, but I don't expect them to change up what they're doing so far.
So Colin Springer, the senior, is under center. Here's another handoff to Hornick. No, actually, nope, that's Blake Burish who gets the call on that one. He picks up another 9 yards. So right off the bat, Tate, they're chewing up the yards there.
Yeah, 2 run plays and 22 yards right there for Phillipsburg. This is starting out to be a pretty good first drive of the season. We just need to see what team is going to get the momentum first. You know, Phillipsburg averaging 22 yards last year, Plainville averaging, points. Plainville averaging 23. So,
Yes.
you know, this could be back and forth all night.
Hornick by himself in the backfield.
Ooh. Our first laundry of the season, too.
Yep, first penalty, and both sides of both teams are clapping, but it looks like it's going to be offsides on the Panthers, on the Cardinals. And that's going to give them another first down.
Yep, hard count quickly. That's how you get teams easy first downs if you're, second 3, second 4. Quick little offsides on a 2 count. Bang, first down inside the 20 now for the Panthers.
So first down and 10. In motion is Hornick. And he will not get the handoff. That's going to be Blake Burish. Burish will pick up close to 5 yards. We'll call it 5 yards. That's pretty close, and that brings up second down and 5. And so just like that, take inside the 15-yard line for the Panthers, and they're just running that ball up the middle at will.
Yeah, from what I've seen, they're starting off that split side on the left, and they're motioning him a little bit, trying to fool the defense. That time got him into I formation for another 5 yards. Another fullback dive.
Yep, and this is Burish again, breaking a few tackles into the end zone. Touchdown, Phillipsburg Panthers.
Wow.
That was a 14-yard touchdown run by Burish.
If you're Phillipsburg, you are super happy about the way your season has started. A quick 6 points on the board, ran the ball the entire way down the field like we talked about pregame. Man, this might be a good one, but Plainville's got to get going on offense here.
Yes, they do. So out to attempt the extra point is Zane Shields, 5'11" junior. For the point after touchdown, it is up, and it is true. 7-0 with 5:52 left to go here in the opening quarter of the 2025 high school football season kickoff. You are watching Game Time on Nex-Tech, Local 1.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hazerec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
7-0, Phillipsburg with their opening possession, punches it in, and it was a 46-yard or so?
I have it at 42 unofficially.
42-yard drive for the Panthers and nothing but runs. And tell you what, if you're the Phillipsburg Panthers, stick with what's working.
Yeah, they're running the ball like we thought they would. Now it's turned Now it's time for Plainville to try to do the same thing, but, Plainville kind of hurt themselves giving them that good a field position off the start.
Nice deep kickoff, and it goes into the end zone, and it is a touchback. So here comes Plainville's second possession, Tate. They were able to pick up a first down. Their first possession, then ended up having to punt the ball away. You're looking for them to put the ball in the air a little bit more, or try to continue to establish the ground game.
I would try to get that ground game going because, Phillipsburg is going to bring it back to you. But if Plainville can get the ball running, start getting some first downs, all they need is gain that little bit of momentum, and it'll be set in stone from there.
Plainville ranked number 5 in 1A in the state of Kansas. They're going to air it out, and the pass is incomplete and over the head of his receiver, Patel, number 5. And so that'll bring up second down and 10. And if you look at...
I know we got to start remembering to look at the replay. Yeah.
Yes.
First game of the year, folks. We'll have her down by the third quarter,
right.
I promise.
That's right.
That was excellent coverage out there.
Just overthrew him a little bit. Yep. So split out right is Williford, and Patel split left. They're going to hand it off up the middle, and nothing going. Maybe a yard or two. Based off where the sideline judge is, it's going to be about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, the interior line for Phillipsburg right now is eating up that front line for Plainville. So,
yeah. Well, in that Plainville line, that was one of Coach McMillan's concerns, right? That he doesn't have a lot of depth on that offensive line. That offensive line is led by senior lineman Riddick Bethel. He anchors both of those lines, and he was a Sports in Kansas 1A All-State honor last year in football. So back to pass, and he finds the receiver, and it depends on where they mark it. It's a good catch, and they're going to mark him about a yard shy at the 29. So now it's a decision now for McMillan, and they're going to hurry this one up. They're going to rush this one to try to keep Phillipsburg off on their heels here, and Phillipsburg just
hard count
and just jumped off sides, and I believe it's going to be encroachment, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty and a first down now for Plainville as they pick up their second first down, and referee moves the ball out to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Plainville trying to get a little bit of taste of their own medicine. Phillipsburg, what they just did on the last drive, that hard count on 4th down and 1. I wonder if they had a play called or not on that 4th and 1.
If they didn't, it worked.
Yeah. Fresh set of downs for Plainville.
That's right. Here's a handoff to the left side. Picking up a couple yards, and that's Crispin Myers, number 10. Myers, the 5'9", 170-pound sophomore, picks up. We're going to give him a yard on that play right at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, big second down coming up here for Plainville. They're trying to get the momentum going, but Phillipsburg's slowing them down really good to start off here. So they need one big play, Plainville does, and they'll have it going.
So we're under 4 minutes now in the first quarter, 7-0. Phillipsburg with the lead. Here comes the option play, and it's going to go out to Crispin, and he is popped right away by number 5, Cade Schwinn, the 5'11", 158-pound defensive back senior for the Panthers, and going to give him 2 yards on that one, but that was a hard-earned 2 yards.
Yeah, that was just great tackling there from Schwinn. I mean, wide open tackle, and if he doesn't make that tackle, he's getting another 3 or 4 yards, and it's a whole different third down. But, 3rd down and 7 coming up now. It's a long ways to go still here for Plainville against this Phillipsburg defense.
2 receivers split left for the Cardinals. Pass is going to go to Patel, and he drops the ball. Incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And I don't think this is probably the time to try to call a sneak quick play here. I think Coach McMillan's going to go ahead and punt this one away as he sends his punter back there, number 10, Crispin Myers, and deep to receive for Phillipsburg. See if I can catch his number here. That might be
23.
43. Yep.
23.
Oh, 23. Okay, that's going to be Blake Burrish. Folks, we're trying to do the best we can. They did not have paper programs as Burrish takes it at the 30, breaks a couple of tackles, breaks another one. He's around the right side and finally is brought down at the 49-yard line. A 19-yard punt return for Burrish. And here we go again. Tate, Phillipsburg's got great field position just to start their second possession.
Yeah, they started the first possession 43 yards out or something similar to that. Now they're only 51. You know, they have yet to be even deep in their own zone right now. So, you know, Plainville, they got a pretty good punt off of it, but, you know, it was a great return by Burrish. And now Phillipsburg, here they come with the ground and pound, I have a feeling.
Ball at the 49-yard line. We're at 2:50 left to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Phillipsburg. Here is a handoff around the left side, and that's going to be Cade Schwinn. And he makes a pass the 50 and out to the 40. Let's call the 42-yard line as he's going to pick up almost 9 yards on that play.
Yeah, that was a heck of a run. Strong run there. Nice little reverse from the Phillipsburg offense. You know, they ran it inside most of that first drive. Now they're trying to spread things out, trying to get the ball around the corner, and it seems to be working right now for Phillipsburg.
Plainville's just trying to figure out Phillipsburg. You know, this is a great rivalry, one of the best ones in northwest Kansas. They play each other every year. They're a half an hour away from each other. Phillipsburg's 2A, Plainville's 1A, as there's a quarterback keep, and it's a fumble, but it looks like Phillipsburg jumped on the ball. And it looks just a little miscommunication there between the quarterback and the running back.
Yeah, that was a dangerous one there. We kind of talked about a little bit pregame on the turnover situation. You know, if Phillipsburg can hold on to the ball, running it constantly, you know, they'll be in good shape. Plainville the same way. They like to throw the ball a little bit more, so you got to keep those interceptions out of Phillipsburg's hands. But that was a little bit of a dangerous one. A little miscommunication, like you said, Steve.
Colin Springer's the quarterback, 5'9", senior. And there's another miss. Well, that was a mistake between the center and the quarterback there. And and all of a sudden, Phillipsburg, just the last two plays, it almost lost the ball.
Yeah, they're going to have to get that under control here. You know, 2 fumbles back-to-back. Now we've got a 4th down and 2, and I'm expecting Phillipsburg to go for it, no doubt. But, you know, they haven't had a hard time getting 2 yards, but these last 2 plays, they've only gotten 1 out of them, but 2 fumbles. So,
well, where they have the ball marked, it's about let's call it 1.5 yards.
Yeah.
Markers at the 40.5-yard line. There's a handoff to Burrish, and he will bulldoze his way for a first down. Picks up another 4 yards on that, and it's another set of downs. Burrish just bowls through. Nice job by that offensive line of the Panthers to open up that huge hole.
Yeah, there's a good hole there from the front line. I mean, Burrish almost was going to have a tough time getting through there, but that offensive line opened it right up. So now we got a fresh set of downs for Phillipsburg, right where they started last drive.
Ty Hornick, I believe, is the brother of Tanner Hornick, kind of led the way there. And there's another mishap, exchange between the center and the quarterback, and fortunately Burrish was able to jump on that one.
Yeah, that's 3 fumbles this drive, and Phillipsburg has luckily got them all, but this closes the end of the first quarter, and right now Phillipsburg putting it on them.
Yep, Phillipsburg, they're struggling right now to move the ball, but they are up 7-0 as we finish the first quarter. So we will be back for quarter number 2. When we come back, you're watching Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Second quarter starting as teams switch fields. There's a long, deep pass all by himself, and it is caught. Wow, that's Tanner Hornick, the state champion hurdler. And he kind of showed his jumping ability. Wow, that was a heck of a catch.
Wow, that was the first pass of the game for Phillipsburg, and it's for a big play from the 38 all the way down to the 18-yard line. That's a gain of 20 yards on that pass. What a heck of a throw.
And tons of protection for Springer, the quarterback, and put it up high where Hornick could grab that. And so it is a fresh set of downs for Phillipsburg as they are threatening to score. Again, they're already up 7-0 here starting the second quarter. And this is a handoff up to the guy that just, actually that's Burrish, number 23. And he got tackled in the backfield for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, nothing going on there for Phillipsburg. Second down and 11 now upcoming. You know, you gotta say, Phillipsburg threatening in Plainville's position now. You know, do they go through the air again, knowing what they just saw?
Well, it worked. It's worked the one time you've done it. Yeah. So, but both teams, you know, they're running teams, obviously, and with Burrish in the backfield by himself, and it is a handoff to Burrish, and he breaks a few tackles and makes a little bit out of nothing. They're going to give him 3 yards on that. That'll bring up third down, and 9.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, Tate.
He was stuffed in the backfield there, but his tough running just kept him going. He got 3 extra yards when he should have lost 2 there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Burrish is a senior. He's 5'7", 174 pounds.
Wow.
But he runs like he's 6 foot, 220 pounds.
Yeah.
He just has a lot of punch behind his power as he's in the backfield by himself again. And there is a flag on the play as they stop at the illegal procedure against the Panthers, and that's
somebody on the front line just moving a little too quick. That's a big change right there. You go from a fourth down and 9 now, or excuse me, a third down and 9 now to a third down and 13.
So again, you know, Plainville is ranked number 5 in the state, 1A. Phillipsburg is not, but they got some votes. They're probably somewhere between 5 and 10 in 2A, as there's another fumble exchange, and that's the 4th time in probably 3 minutes, a game clock here, and all 4 times, fortunately for the Panthers, they've been able to jump on that.
Yeah, and that one time that Phillipsburg won't become lucky is going to be where the momentum switches, I feel, because that's 4 times that Phillipsburg has managed to get the ball back under a snap from the center to the quarterback, and that's one thing that's got to be fixed. Now you're stuck with a 4th down and long inside your own territory. Now, you kick field goal here, I would say probably, but we'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah, it's 4th and 14, and it looks like they're going to possibly air it out. Burrish in the backfield by himself. Hornick in the slot. He's in motion now, and back to pass, and breaks a few tackles, and he is going to be sacked for a loss. Big tackle there by the Redmond, the
62.
Yep, 64 number. That's Tucker Redmond, the 6 foot, 205 pound senior. And you talked about a momentum change. If Phillipsburg ever fumbled the ball and Plainville was fortunate enough to jump on it, well, that's a big momentum changer. And let's see if Plainville can capitalize on this.
Yeah, they're going to spread things out here, probably run it first down, which they do right up the gut. Now they're getting yards out of it.
Yep.
Flag, though. Maybe
There's
a holding, I don't know.
There's a flag in the backfield.
Yep.
It's going to go against Plainville, so that nice little run there by Crispin Myers, all for naught. Is holding is the official call, and so that's going to set them back 10 yards back to their own 15. And Plainville has yet, not even close, have gotten to the 50-yard line so far in this ball game.
Yeah, they've been stuck in their own side of the field this entire first half. They have yet to get past the 50, but they just need to get something going, whether it's through the air or on the ground. I would say through the air right now, because the ground game seemed to be working that first play, but now you got a first down and 20. Here comes a fake pass, but now he's open.
Yep, and he's going to get it, maybe pick up 7 yards on the play, bring it out to the 22-yard line. And, he had a couple guys wide open, and he actually had a nice holder run through there. But, it's with 2nd and 14, at some point you're going to have to probably start airing it out. And, Plainville's got some tall receivers. They got David Williford, that's 6'2", and they got Ari Patel, who's 6'4". But this is going to be a pass. Dentino rolling out, and it is caught, and he is going to go all the way. That's Ari Patel all the way for a touchdown.
Wow, all the way from the 22-yard line.
78. That, ladies and gentlemen, that's not a train, I promise you, but that's a 78-yard touchdown pass, and that was perfectly laid out there by Dentino, and we called it, right?
Yep.
That huge momentum switch, and so now Plainville has an opportunity to tie this ball game up when they were really struggling to start with, and so Carson Ditter, the 5'7" sophomore, my apologies, that's his brother Easton, and I believe they're twins.
Oh, wow.
Here's the snap, ball down. Kick is on its way and partially blocked by Phillipsburg, and it is no good. But Plainville is on the board, 7-6, as we are at the 7:54 mark of the second quarter. Phillipsburg with the lead. We're going to be right back after this on Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
A special thanks to our Plainville Game Time boosters, Wilkins Manufacturing, H&C Oil Operating, and Stahl's Products. These proud supporters stand behind the Plainville students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Mr. K's Food Town, First State Bank of Plainville, Norton, Hill City, Hoxie, and Holdridge, Nebraska, along with professional fire equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
From a touchdown by Plainville, a 78-yard touchdown pass, and that was a beauty.
Yeah,
that was a beauty.
Perfect throw from Dentino there. Man-to-man coverage on the far sideline. Just floats it up, trusts his receiver, and bang. 78 yards to the house. Now it's a 7-6 ball game after the tip block field goal. But that's what Plainville needed. This is where the momentum might start for Plainville on offense. But the problem with that is now you have to try to take and stop Phillipsburg.
Now you got to try to stop Phillipsburg. Exactly
this
right.
This might be the only time that you might get Phillipsburg all the way behind their own 50.
That's right.
So.
And it is a very short kickoff to the 21. And it is, and he's going to be tackled at the 26. With the return, that was Ledig and Hamill with the tackle, and so Phillipsburg will start their third possession of the game at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, we were talking about it over a break a little while ago, how fast the clock keeps ticking here in this ball game. Phillipsburg, if they keep running the ball, this might be a very low-scoring affair because teams might not be on offense for that long.
That's right.
The quarters are going to go by quick, and I expect this to be another drive just like that one.
Correction, the ball's at the 26-yard line, and so under center is Springer. He is going to keep it. Quarterback keeper tackled from behind after a minimal gain there, tackled by Panthers Trenton Maupin, the senior.
So now a 2nd down and 5 coming up here for Phillipsburg. I bet they keep the ball on the ground. They keep the clock running here. It's going to be one big play, I have a feeling, coming up eventually in this drive, but I don't know if now is not the time to go for a long one, I don't think.
Probably not. You got 7:15 left to go in the second quarter. You're up by 1. And Burrish gets the call as he gets around the left side and picks up a couple yards, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 2 now for the Panthers. And I think the big story at the beginning of this game was the way they just plowed down the field, and it didn't look like Plainville could stop the Panther running attack. But in their last series, they had 4 fumbles. Fortunately for Phillipsburg, they were able to jump on all 4 of those. Hornick in motion, and there is another mix-up as Burrish is stopped in the backfield, and looks like they're going to give him forward momentum to the right on the 35. So 4th and 2, Tate, what do you do?
Well, I would run the ball. I mean, you can get 2 yards, but it all comes down to the center and the quarterback getting that snap off clean, because that's the 5th time we've seen it. That time, luckily, not considered a fumble, but it was a bobble, and that kind of messes up the timing on the offensive front. So let's see what Coach Coombs is going to do here. He could run the ball, or he could just punt it, but Plainville has a little bit of momentum on their side after that pass, and so let's see what Coach Coombs do. He's going to let the clock run down a little bit. 5:50 and ticking now. Maybe a timeout coming up. I think so.
So anchoring that interior of that defensive line for the Plainville Cardinals is the big senior Riddick Bethel, 6 foot, 260 pounds, and I'm not there. Yeah, they're running it off, and so
I'm expecting a timeout. I think the refs. There it is. Okay, I was going to say the refs right there by Coach Coombs. It was just waiting for it to happen.
All right, timeout called by the Panthers. 5:22 left to go in the second quarter. Phillipsburg up 7-6. We'll be back after this on Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens and his team have over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
Back atop the press box here at Panther Field in Phillipsburg, Kansas. An absolutely gorgeous evening for the opening night of the 2025 high school football season. I'm Steve Stoltz along with my partner here, Tate Reynolds, and Tate with basically half of the second quarter gone. This is going to be an interesting call what Phillipsburg's going to do here with a 4th and 2 at their own 35.
Yep, and it looks like they're lining up to run it, but which I expected him to do, I think.
But they made, earlier in the game, they did make Plainville jump off sides with a hard count. So it is a handoff to Burrish. He's got a huge hole, and he is going to go all the way for a touchdown. And that's going to be a 65-yard touchdown run by Blake Burrish. And that offensive line blew that defensive line of Plainville, blew that hole wide open.
Yeah, he might have barely been touched right there at the line of scrimmage. But, man, a 4th down and 2 on your side of the field, and you take it to the house. Now it's a 13-6 ball game, maybe 14 with an extra point. But, wow, what a run there.
Wow.
Incredible.
Big plays.
Got to give it to number 2 there for Plainville. He almost had him there at the end, but Burris with too much speed.
Yeah, that's David Williford in. Here comes the extra point, and it's bobbled by the catcher, and he passes it, and Hornick almost got his hands on it, but it's another busted play for Plainville. But
I think that was Plainville.
Or for Phillipsburg, sorry.
Yeah.
So, but it is 13-6 now as Phillipsburg responds in commanding fashion to Plainville's 78-yard touchdown pass with a Blake Burrish 65-yard touchdown run. 5:11 left to go here in the second quarter. We will be right back on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Two big scoring plays so far here in the first half, and Phillipsburg with Murish had just ran off a 65-yard touchdown run, and Phillipsburg with another kickoff, the third one of the night, and they're going to fake reverse this return, and there is some open running room there, and getting out and still going, and they finally bring him down to about the 35-yard line. That was a pretty nice return there by David Williford.
Yeah, Plainville trying to pull some tricks out of their sleeves on the special teams. I think that's the second time they've tried to do that, but this time the catch wasn't fumbled back there, so it made it a little easier. And for the most part, it fooled Phillipsburg. Most of their players were running to this side, but pretty good return. Now Plainville still in their own territory. Let's see if they can keep on that momentum.
Yep, Joey Dentino, the 5'9" and 160-pound quarterback. He's got two tall receivers. And this is going to be a fake handoff and a quarterback keep over to the right side. Dentino gets it out to about the 37, 38-yard line. 37-yard line looks like. It looks like he's going to pick up just 2 or 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, that was a nice option read there. He got that defensive end completely read, took it right up the middle. If you can get 3-4 yards on a running play, the whole entire game, you're set up for success.
So Drayden Puckett and Trenton Maupin are the running backs, and they've got a big squad. So handoff up the middle to Crispin Myers. He'll bring it out to about the 40-yard line, and, well, Plainville now is faced with a 3rd and 5, just over 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball on the ground working. Now you got a 3rd down and 4. Now it's kind of decision time. Do you go back through the air? You know, you just had a 65-yard touchdown on the last drive. Do you want to try to do something with 3:51 and ticking left in the half here? Or do you just want to run the ball up the gut and see if you can get another 4 or 5 yards first down?
Well, I think Coach McMillan definitely does not want to give Phillipsburg, and there's another hard count, and Phillipsburg is drawn off sides, and boy, this will be close. Is this going to be close enough to a first down? They may give it to him.
Yeah, I think it's barely going to be a first down. Yeah, right
And
across
it
the
is.
45.
And they say move the chains, and so the chain gang is repositioning on the far side.
And you know, Steve, being the first game of the season, a lot of hard counts coming out. That's one thing you're going to learn progressively through the year goes is, you know, you got to watch the ball and not hear the count.
Absolutely. All right. Oh, here's an option
Uh-oh.
toss, and it is brought out to the 41-yard line. Crispin Myers tackled by Burrish, and that's another set of first downs.
Yeah, that was a nice little late option read there from Dentino. I tell you what, great job by him. As now Plainville in their own territory, looking to cook here. I think this is their first time running a play in their own territory because the other pass was from Phillipsburg territory.
That's right.
So,
yep, and that was I was just going to say, Tate.
Yep.
Yeah, it's this is their first offensive play so far tonight in Phillipsburg territory. So a little trickery going on right now by Coach McMillan and trying to change things up here. That was a big opportunity for Phillipsburg to try to stop Plainville because they get the ball to start the second half.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Crispin throws wide open is Patel, who just scored another touchdown. Wow. That is a 42-yard touchdown pass.
wow, he's now 42 and 65. He's over 100 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns already. What a game here from him.
And he was wide open, you know,
Yeah.
and
you got to give credit where credit's due. Dentino threaded the needle right between 2 Phillipsburg defenders for that touchdown.
Yeah, Dentino, it's when he throws the ball, he's been on target. He's the fight, and he's only a sophomore.
Wow.
He's only a sophomore. So, all right, coming out to try again another extra point is Easton Ditter, the sophomore, as Plainville looks to try to tie this up, Tate.
Yeah.
Ball is up, and it looked like it was partially blocked again.
Could have been. I can't tell if he got too much under it, but, from the ball flight, it looked like it was a little tipped.
So another extra point failed by Plainville, but they are back within one. It's 13-12. We have 2:39 left to go in the second quarter. And Tate, when are they going to turn on the lights here? It's starting to get a little dark.
Yeah, I don't know. We were kind of talking about that a little earlier. It's starting to get a little dusk out here. And we're up here freezing our tails off. Maybe the lights will give off a little bit.
That's right.
A little bit of heat. But, man, I tell you what a beautiful night it is for football. A close, tight game, just the way we expected it to be. 13-12 here with 2.5 left in the first half. The game's flying by, but both teams starting to get their offenses working. Phillipsburg started off hot, and then Plainville. They kind of started off slow, but now it's kind of the tides have turned. They've one offense is starting to fly through the air, the other one's running the ball. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. 2:39 left, and Phillipsburg, as much as they run the ball, this 2:39 could go by quick, or it could go by pretty slow. It depends if they decide to air it out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Coach Coombs, he may think, okay, I got 2:39 left to go before halftime. I get the ball after halftime.
Yep.
So you might try to double dip here and try to get a quick touchdown score, and then hoping that maybe on your first possession after the halftime you can score again and kind of blow this game open. But Plainville's hanging in there. Phillipsburg has had some miscues, but they've also had some great plays as well. And so as we get ready to kick this off, with 2:39 left to go, 13-12, Phillipsburg with the 1-point lead. And this is going to be Ditter, Easton Ditter. He's missed a couple of extra points in this game, tipped by Phillipsburg. And here is the kickoff, and it'll go out to the 20-yard line. And here comes Hornick again, and he is going to break it loose, and he is gone.
Wow.
You are not going to catch that kid.
I think that was caught at like the 19-yard line. And
81-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And, well, that's not the way I was thinking. The Phillipsburg may try to score before the half, but tell you what, that Hornick is an incredible athlete and super fast.
Yeah, and I tell you what, as soon as Phillipsburg gets on the board now, if they get a stop here and say it goes to halftime and the Phillipsburg comes out with the ball, a two-possession game here would be a huge advantage for Phillipsburg if they manage to come out after half and score, because 2 scores is a big deal here against Plainville and Phillipsburg. You know, that goes a long ways. Let's see if they can get the extra point, make it an 8-point ball game.
Zane Shields with a kick, and it is up and through. So that brings Phillipsburg up to 20 now. They're up 20-12 with an 8-point lead, 2.5 left to go in the second quarter. We are going to be back to see what response Plainville has. We'll be back on Game Time on Nex-Tech, Local 1.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hazerec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
And now we're back with the kickoff as Phillipsburg just returned a kickoff return for touchdown, and here is Plainville with the reverse, and this is I got the wrong roster up here. Sorry, that's David Williford, and Williford will bring it out. And there is also a flag on the play, too, and most likely that'll probably be an illegal block or a holding on Plainville, as Plainville's kind of starting to march back deeper in their own territory.
Yeah, there's only 2 or 3 flags. It looks like it's going to be a legal block, yep. So there's only like 2 flags after the ball's actually kicked.
Right.
It could be called. Usually it's on the receiving team, the ones blocking. So, you know, now Plainville, 2:21 left in this half. They're going to have poor field positioning now right at the 10-yard line. So they have 90 yards to go before they can get to the end zone. But 2:20, that's a lot of time. Let's see what Plainville can do. Try to give a chance back to maybe a 1-point ball game.
So Coach McMillan's probably not too worried because he's had 2 deep passes for touchdowns in this game for Plainville. And here's an option, a keeper there by Hernick. Gets the tackle. Trying to adjust my papers here, but
yeah, that was Dentino on the run, only
yep.
getting 1 yard. And, you know, that clock's going to keep on ticking now. 2 minutes and running.
You would think, Tate, that there may be a little bit of urgency by the Plainville sideline to try to get a score before halftime.
Yep.
To try to get this thing a little bit closer, because you can't afford to come out in the third quarter and end up getting further behind. There's a pass out to the left side to Patel, a little screen pass, and not much going there. He's going to get out to about the 15-yard line, and Phillipsburg, who has now forced Plainville into a 3rd and 5, is going to call a timeout.
They want the ball back.
They do.
Before half.
They do. 1:32 left to go in the second quarter. Phillipsburg up 20-12. We'll be right back. This is Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with professional fire equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Minute 32 left to go in the second quarter. Plainville, down by 8, is facing the 3rd and 5 at their own 15-yard line. And this is going to be a sweep out to the right, and breaking a tackle is going to be Myers, Crispin Myers on the carry there. And, well, he picked up about 4 yards on that, close to the first down, and looks like Phillipsburg may have called their final timeout of the half.
They did.
And so, boy, do you punt it away and just hope your defense can make a big stop before halftime here, Tate?
Well, I mean, it's 4th and inches here, so I'm kind of thinking Plainville's going to try to get that half yard and then, maybe try to take a shot up to number 5 and see what happens like they've done twice. But I think that they're probably just going to try to run it about half a yard and maybe run it out the clock. We'll see what happens. But, Phillipsburg out of timeouts. If it would have been a 3rd down and 5, 4th down and 5, I could have seen Plainville punting it away, Phillipsburg getting the ball back, under a minute left, and then maybe taking that last timeout. But, 4th down and inches here. Plainville could punt it away, but I don't know if they want to get the ball back in the hands of Phillipsburg with that much time left.
And a minute 25 is a lot of time, and I think Plainville's only punted once in this game, and it was not a very long punt, maybe a 30-yard punt or so. But so now, one thing that Plainville does have going for them, they've been very successful twice so far tonight with the hard count and making Phillipsburg jump offside. So let's see if Phillipsburg's going to be a little bit more disciplined here.
Yep, QB sneak. They're going to try to get that half yard, and they do.
All right, so Crispin Myers with the quarterback sneak up the middle, and that will be a fresh set of downs, and Plainville is now going to call a timeout.
Yep, they want to score.
So the minute 20 left to go in the second quarter. It's 20-12. Phillipsburg with the lead. Plainville's trying to march down the field with a little bit of time left before halftime. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back for the remainder of the second quarter. This is Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you will be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
We're back in Phillipsburg as Plainville is going to try to, they got trips left. Shotgun formation, it's a fake screen, and all by himself out there, and Joe! Oh, he almost made the catch. That would have been probably the catch of the year, and that's just game one. That was Ryken Brown that made a dive and just outside of his fingertips. And again, another really good pass by that sophomore, Joey Dentino. And we figured, we were talking during the break, Tate, they were going to try to air this one out.
Yep, and I think they're going to keep on trying to do so. They might run one or two, but, that pass right there, if that's a foot less, 6 inches less, that's maybe a touchdown. If not, they go out of bounds right around the 40. So I'm expecting Plainville to keep throwing the ball maybe here.
Well, and split left is Ari Patel, who already has 2 touchdown receptions tonight. He's working against Horneck. This is going to be a screen pass up the middle, and, well, not quite sure who was supposed to get that, but it is an incomplete pass. Well, they're going to call Owen Brewster the tight end, the 6'2", 195-pound tight end. And we've got $1.08 left to go here in the second quarter, 3rd and 10 for Plainville.
Yeah, it almost looked like there was 2 Plainville offenders that were ready to catch that ball, and maybe some miscommunication on that screen pass. Now you have a 3rd down and 10. Aired out again.
Ari Patel split left.
Run it
and
this time.
they're going to run it, and needing him almost at the line of scrimmage for the Panthers is number 80, and that's, E.J. Hall. And Hall with a big stop here. And, Phillipsburg does not have any timeouts left, and obviously Plainville's going to come in and they're going to punt this one away.
Yeah, it's looking like they're lining up and punt, which I would too. They're going to run the clock down as far as they can and punt the ball away, which that's exactly what you should do back there with number 23 back there to return. He's dangerous, as we saw earlier.
He is, and he's also scored an offensive touchdown tonight. That's Blake Burrish, the senior running back. And it looks like Plainville let the clock run down to 18. They're going to call a timeout. Try to give Phillipsburg as little time as possible. We really haven't seen Phillipsburg air it out that much tonight, Tate.
No, been a lot of run plays, and, that clock has dwindled down quick, especially when Phillipsburg is on offense. But, with 18 seconds left, if they get the ball even past the 50, there might be a pass thrown, maybe going for the end zone, because like we said earlier, Phillipsburg is going to get the ball back in the second half. Yep. And the last thing you want to do if you're Plainville is let Phillipsburg get 2 scores ahead. Even with Plainville's offense kind of working the way it was in the first half, 2-score ball game in this one is going to be a long ways away. And so we'll see what happens. They actually put it to 20 seconds on the clock now. So Plainville needs to get a good punt here and play some good defense.
Well, we got to get the punt away first. I think that's probably the most important thing. And yeah, so Dentino's the quarterback. He's also their punter. And Joey's going to have to put a lot of leg into this.
Looks like number 10's back there punting, actually.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I apologize for that. But deep to receive is Burrish. He's at his own 49-yard line, and it is a kick off the side of his foot. He gets a friendly bounce, but it goes out at the Cardinal 45-yard line, and with 13 seconds left, Phillipsburg's got a couple plays left to try to punch this one in before halftime.
Yeah, it might be a long pass here, maybe leave you 4 or 5 seconds left on the clock for a chance at another one, but you definitely want to at least try here one play to see what you can do. Gamble your cards. 13 seconds left on the clock in Plainville territory at the 44. Let's see what Plainville can do. They have a chance to go up here 2 scores and maybe 3 heading into the second half or after the first drive of the second half. So they're lined up with that single-man backfield.
Springer dropping back to pass. He is looking to his right, doesn't find anything. He breaks out of bounds. He breaks containment there, and he gets out of bounds. And is it enough to stop stops the clock at 4 seconds to go? And obviously you're not in field goal range, so most likely Springer's probably going to try to air this out. He was originally looking for E.J. Hall, the 6'1" senior receiver, but it is a first down, but 4 seconds, you got 1 play left.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that was a smart run there. I mean, you don't want to force it downfield, an interception with wide open field against a fast Plainville player. They could take it to the house. So I'm expecting Phillipsburg to go for the end zone here, last play of the half.
Hornick in motion and flags on the play. Is this going to be a false start? It is a false start on Phillipsburg. So that'll set him back a few yards and took a second off the clock. And so now we're down to 3 seconds, and Phillipsburg has the ball at the Cardinal 39-yard line. And I think both coaches on both sides are talking to their team during halftime, cleaning things up a little bit. Phillipsburg's had some miscues as far as the center to quarterback exchange and handoffs and so forth. Unfortunately for them, they have not turned the ball over. But last play of the second quarter, and there's another exchange fumble, but this is a pitch out to Hornick, and he is tackled at the 51-yard line. That's a nice open field tackle there by Ryan Hamel, the 6-foot sophomore, and that is the way the first half is going to end, Tate. 20-12, Phillipsburg is going to go into the locker room with the 8-point lead. We are going to come back here in just a little bit, and we will kind of recap the first half for you when we get back here in Phillipsburg. 20-12, Panthers with the lead. This is Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
A special thanks to our Plainville Game Time boosters, Wilkins Manufacturing, H&C Oil Operating, and Stahl's Products. These proud supporters stand behind the Plainville students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Mr. K's Food Town, First State Bank of Plainville, Norton, Hill City, Hoxie, and Holdridge, Nebraska, along with professional fire equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens and his team have over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drugstore, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents, Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
A special thanks to our Plainville Game Time Boosters, Wilkins Manufacturing, H&C Oil Operating, and Stalls Products. These proud supporters stand behind the Plainville students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Mr. K's Food Town, First State Bank of Plainville, Norton, Hill City, Hoxie, and Holdridge, Nebraska, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens and his team have over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
Putting on a show right now for the hometown fans. They're up 20-12 as we are watching the Phillipsburg Panther High School band perform their halftime performance. So there was the season started last night. There were just a few games last night that were played, and most of them were out east in the Kansas City area. But we did have a local game last night, Russell and TMP Marion, and Russell comes away with a 29-22 win. So the Broncos start out their year 1-0, and we're going to see TMP next week. Yep. They travel to Norton. That'll be our next game here on Nex-Tech Local 1 on Game Time, and so that'll be a great game. But so I'm going to turn it over to you, Tage. We've got some updates on local games going on tonight.
Yep. Let's see. Great Bend over McPherson 28-0. That scores at halftime. Obviously, Phillipsburg here 20, Plainville to 12. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Let's see what else we can find here. Smith Center and Chapman scoreless at halftime. That's going to be a big defensive battle.
Absolutely.
Wow. Osborne 6, Hoxie 0 at the end of the first quarter. That was the latest score we had from that one. Let's see else here.
Lincoln over Ellis.
Yep, Lincoln over Ellis, 26-6. That was the end of the first quarter score, so I'm sure they're getting closer to halftime now. And that's about all the area scores that I can find for the time being. So lots of close games here around in our area.
Absolutely, and it's an exciting night, opening night of football, and there's just nothing like football in Western Kansas, and it's you couldn't ask for a more beautiful night. Yeah, the temperature could be a little bit higher. I'm not going to complain, but there's just a very, very, very slight breeze. So, do you want to do stats? Or you want to come back after a break?
Yep, I'll try to do some stats. I know we have the touchdowns here on my sheet. It's tough keeping track of stacks, I'll tell you that, and watching the game,
Yeah.
But we'll see what we can do. So in the first quarter, it was a big touchdown run, 14 yards to start things off for Phillipsburg as they started off their first drive of the season in excellent field positioning as that was a Baresh with a 14-yard touchdown to make it 6-0, and then the extra point was made to make it 7-0. And then Plainville decides to come back out and respond with a long pass, 64 yards. That one to Patel. That made it 7-6. Field goal was no good there. Phillipsburg comes back with a 65-yard return on a 4th down and 2. That was Bly Baresh as well. 65 yards on a 4th down and 2. Not too shabby there for him. And then on the Plainville side, as I have to flip my page to the third page, Plainville responded back with another large pass, 42 yards to Patel again, as the passing game was working on those long shots for Plainville. That made the score 13-12 as the field goal was missed. And then right after that, an 81-yard return from none other than Hornick of Phillipsburg to make it 20-12. And that's where it leads us to halftime with 6:40 on the clock. So far, Plainville, 2 large touchdowns through the air. Phillipsburg running the ball like crazy, doing what they know how to do best, plus that big return from Hornick. I think I'm going to see the exact same thing that we saw in that first half, maybe just a little bit more exclaimed from both sides. Phillipsburg's going to get the ball to start out the second half. Plainville's got to get that stop because a 2-possession ball game is going to be a long ways in this type of ball game. So we're going to see what happens. It's going to be a close one all the way to the end, Steve.
That's right. And when we come back, we'll talk about, we gave you some scores, but we'll talk about other teams in the area that are playing it. We'll continue to look at and see if we can get any updates on those games. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about other teams that are playing and maybe dig a little bit deeper in some of the players that are back for their senior season for both Plainville and Phillipsburg, as both teams are getting ready to come out of the locker room with 5.5 left to go before we start the second half. You are watching Game Time, and it is on Nex-Tech, Local 1.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hazerec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents, Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
A special thanks to our Plainville Game Time Boosters, Wilkins Manufacturing, H&C Oil Operating, and Stalls Products. These proud supporters stand behind the Plainville students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Mr. K's Food Town, First State Bank of Plainville, Norton, Hill City, Hoxie, and Holdridge, Nebraska, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens and his team have over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
We're back at Panther Field here in Phillipsburg. Phillipsburg with the 20-12 lead. A couple scoring updates for you. Wamego over Concordia 34-0. St. Francis beating Quinter right now 25-0. And both of those games are at the half. Also, Derby is leading Hayes High in Derby 14-7. And those are a couple of updates that we have for you right now as we have it. So both teams are back out on the field, and we got a full moon. It's not much clouds. I mean, 2 weeks now we've had like sub summer weather. It's been actually kind of nice, and it's just I know I've said it 100 times tonight, but it is the perfect night for a football game in early September.
Yeah, especially if you're wearing the pads. But if you're up here on this press box, it gets a little chilly. That's for sure. We were just talking about that. We wearing these. If we didn't have these sweatshirts on, we'd be pretty well screwed. So
yeah, we'd be down in the van and getting warm where Jason and Aubrey are right now. So so there's a lot of games going on tonight. And like I said, we will try to keep you up to date on games as we get those scores in. But the one we're concentrating on right now is Phillipsburg. So as they put a couple more minutes on the halftime clock, Tate. So Phillipsburg up by 8 points, 20-12. They get the ball to start the second half. They won the toss and deferred before the game. So both teams, let's start with Phillipsburg. So obviously Phillipsburg, they want to add on to this 8-point lead, as you alluded to several times earlier, Tate. A 2-score lead may be hard to overcome the way this game is kind of shaped up.
Yep, and it's all going to depend on, what the game plan is coming out of the locker room. If I was Phillipsburg at this situation, I'm going to keep running the ball. There's no reason to pass it. The run game's working. You're up by a touchdown. Keep running that clock off the scoreboard as well, because, the less time Plainville has the ball in their hands, the less chances they have to make those long passes that they have 2 touchdowns at Battelle, one 65 yards, and the other one I believe was 41 yards. So, if you're Phillipsburg, run the ball. If you're Plainville, you need to get Phillipsburg off the field, get their defense on, and you need to start airing it out deep, because that is what worked well for you. And I think both coaches know exactly what they need to do. So we're going to see what happens. Phillipsburg is going to get the ball back, chance to make it a 2-possession ball game with a touchdown on the first drive of the half. And, I've said it several times, but that would go a long way in a game like this.
And Phillipsburg's won 3 years in a row.
Yep.
3 out of the last 5 years. And so a little pride here in play. And I think Plainville's like, we want to stop this 3-game losing streak to the Panthers. And so.
And also one thing we haven't even mentioned is this is a part of the Mid-Continent League, tournament, season-long tournament that they play. A win here for either team boosts them up in the Mid-Continent League. Sure, it's the first game of the year, but, Phillipsburg, correct me if I'm wrong, they won the MCL last year.
Yep.
They beat Norton, who had 1 or 2 losses on the season last year, and Plainville, who made it to the quarterfinals, and they still won the Mid-Continent League. So these games matter at the end of the year for sure.
Absolutely. Speaking of Norton, a scoring update, they're in the third quarter in Oakley. Norton is leading Oakley 8-7. Nice. Low-scoring game, very much a defensive game there. So,
and we'll get to see the Blue Jays next week.
Yeah, we will see the Blue Jays next week. TMP Marion Monarchs out of Hayes will be traveling to Norton to take on the Blue Jays next Friday night. That's where Nex-Tech Game Time will be. Me and Tate and the gang are going to call that game. TMP lost last night to Russell, and Norton right now is up 8-7 on Oakley as we begin the second half. And it is a low kickoff received at the 17-yard line. This is Burrish, who Burrish has been an animal tonight, and he brings it all the way out to the 40. Where they're going to mark it here? The 42, 43 maybe.
Nice little 23-yard return there from him. So Phillipsburg starting to get field positioning in their own 42 or 43, whichever one. Yep, 42.
Yeah, we'll call it the 42. The scoreboard says 43, but we're going to call it 42. We've got a pretty good view up here on top of the Panther Stadium press box. Here is Burrish getting the handoff up the middle. Not much going there as he is met by a flock of Cardinals on that play. Led in there. Stamper was one of the players in there, and we have no lights up here.
Yeah.
Right, so it's hard to see. And I was trying to mention it earlier. They don't hand out programs here at Panther Stadium. They give you a QR code, and so it's trying to read off your phone and flipping between rosters gets a little tricky sometimes. Here's an end around, and this is going down to the almost to the 30-yard line. That's a nice end around to Cade Schwinn, the 5'11", 158-pound senior.
Wow, that was a nice little end around there from Schwinn. I tell you what, I thought he was going to go out of bounds about 10 yards shorter, but man, he might have. It looks like they marked it a little shorter than I thought. Don't you think, Steve?
Well, maybe he's
stepped out.
It looks like, I think he was a little further down there, so I think he might have stepped out of bounds right around the 38.
Yeah, so he stepped out about the 30, 29-yard line, but he had stepped out of bounds, obviously, at the 38. And so it's first down and 10 now as we're starting the third quarter here. And Phillipsburg marching the ball again. Hornick gets the toss, and he sweeps around the right side. He is fast. He's already had a long touchdown today, and he is finally tackled down at the 17-yard line.
That was a great block in front there as well by number 14 of Phillipsburg.
That was Owen Miller, the big tight end, 6'3", 183 pounds. Yeah, he can move people around at that size, and he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, that was a nice little 20-yard gain there from number 22. I have a clipboard in my head, so I can't look at the other thing. So if I say numbers, I apologize, but that was a nice little 20-yard run. Now down to the 18.
Hornick with that, and here's a hand up the middle to Burish, and Burish is bullying his way inside the 15. He carried at least 3 Cardinals on his back, and he's only a 5'7", 175-pound running back, but he runs like a bull down to the 15, gain of 3.
Yeah, he should have been stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but you keep those feet moving. He just got himself 3 extra yards, and if you get 3 yards in every run, you're in a good plan. So now you got a 2nd down and 7. Phillipsburg, I bet they're just going to keep on pounding the ball right up the middle.
Absolutely, as Bursch is by himself in the backfield. And is he going to get the call again? He will not. It's a quarterback keeper, and not much going there that time for a Springer, and loss of 1 is going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. This is, I think, probably the biggest defensive play of the game so far for Plainville, because if you can keep Phillipsburg out of the end zone and keep from falling down by 2 scores, that's going to win. That's going to be a big win for you. But Phillipsburg had broken off some big runs and looked for Burish to be a part of this. Hornick in the backfield, and it is another false start.
I think it's offsides, actually. Sorry.
Oh, you are right. You are right. Yeah, well, Plainville was clapping, and but I think they're trying to influence the referees out there. But, well, that's a big mistake because you had them pinned down at 3rd and 8. Now it's 3rd and 3, and the ball's just outside of your own 10-yard line for Plainville. And I don't think this is what Coach Alex McMillan had in mind when he was talking to his team at halftime.
Yeah, if you're Plainville, you need to stop here because, Phillipsburg is going to keep running that clock off. And here's a big stop.
A big stop.
Wow.
What a play in there. Big number 51. That's Ryan Hamel with a big stop and a loss of about 3 on the play. And so 4th and 6, what are you going to do now? If you're Phillipsburg, what do you...
You haven't really seen a lot of field goals attempted tonight. There hasn't been a lot of chances, but, I'm not too sure if you go for a field goal here, try to get up, 2 possessions, or if you just go ahead and go for it, which it looks like they are going to try to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Yeah, we got Burish in the background, in the backfield. And here is a sweep out, and it is going to be a first down. That's Cade Schwinn for Phillipsburg with the rush.
That was close. That last little effort, the dive there when he got tripped up, helped him out a lot. I think he was going to be stopped nearly right at the 10-yard marker. So first down and goal now for Phillipsburg.
And the sweeps have been really successful tonight for Phillipsburg. And now Phillipsburg has Plainville on their heels with the ball at the 7-yard line of Plainville.
Yeah, Phillipsburg looking to get up by 2 possessions, see if they can do it here. Single-man backfield.
Hornick in motion. And it is going to be a handoff again to Schwinn, and not much going there. Nice job by that interior line of the Cardinal defense, led in there by Riddick Bethel, and a loss of lots of yards on that one.
Yeah, I have it down as a loss of 3. So now you're down there, or maybe a loss of 4. Now you're at the 11-yard line. You got to score here in the next 3 downs if you're Phillipsburg. And, 11 yards, it's been easy at some times. It's been hard at some times. But Plainville knows they have to stop them. So this might be a tough couple downs here for the Panthers.
Plainville's defense trying to keep Phillipsburg out of the end zone. Hornick again in motion, and he falls down. Back to pass, and it is over the outstretched hands of the wide receiver as Springer tried to get it out to his wide receiver Cleveland Corman, and just overthrew him in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he never really, I don't think he ever had a chance to get him in the end zone there. There was pretty tight coverage there by the backs of Plainville. Now he got 3rd down and goal from the 11. And I thought maybe they were going to run it, but I'm expecting a run here. Maybe something to the outside, because that's been managing to get some yards for the Panthers. So,
and yeah, just one of the very, very few passes that have been thrown tonight by Phillipsburg. And Baresh in the backfield. Again, Hornick in motion. It's a sweep out to Hornick. He breaks one tackle. He's inside the 10 and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow. I called it. I said they were going to try to run it to the outside because that's how they got yards. And sure enough, little pitch out there to Hornick. And now they're up by 2 touchdowns, 14 points, looking to make it 15. And, man, Phillipsburg looking good on offense.
Yeah, and he's probably the fastest one out on the field there, that Hornick kid. And he's a senior and, state champion in hurdles and last year. And so
takes a lot of athleticism to win hurdles.
He's not big, but boy, is he quick.
Yep.
And here's Phillipsburg with the extra point. It is up, and it is true.
Those extra points are coming in handy here for Phillipsburg.
Yep, Zane Shields is the kicker for Phillipsburg. So Panthers have opened this up 27-12, 6:35 left to go in the third quarter here in Phillipsburg. We'll take a break. We'll be back on Nex-Tech, Local 1.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Stadium, as Phillipsburg has just scored to open the third quarter. And Zane Shields set to kick off. And go ahead.
Sorry, Phillipsburg burned off half the quarter there on that drive, too.
So. They did, and most of it was in Plainville territory.
Yep.
So here's the kickoff. It's a fake reverse, and it is not going to fool Tyler Hornick, who just tackled Riken Brown inside the 5-yard line. And tell you what, you're not going to outrun Tanner Hornick.
No, he had him. They didn't fool anybody there on that little reverse on the return. Hornick just ate them all up. Now Plainville stuck inside their own 5-yard line after return. It's going to be a long drive if they can get points here. I'm expecting some long throws here in this drive.
Well, I think one of the unsung heroes for Phillipsburg so far in this game is their kicker, Zane Shields. Yep. I mean, he boots that thing probably down to the 10, if not inside the 10. He's made every extra point except for one. And so Plainville is going to try to run it and right up the middle, and not much going there for Crispin Myers.
Yeah, you mentioned the kicker there for Phillipsburg. Only He's only missed one field goal, but that also puts him up in a situation where Plainville does happen to come back. They're going to have to make a 2-point conversion. And so
at some point.
Them field goals after the touchdowns, the extra points have been extra crucial, and especially the kickoffs there, putting it right inside the 10. I mean, he's having a heck of a night. And, kickers sometimes are those unsung heroes.
Yes.
You just don't realize it. But
Yep.
he's having a heck of a game.
So Plainville is in a little bit of trouble. Just under 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter. They are down 27-12, facing a 2nd and 9 at their own 3-yard line. And here's a handoff, and this one is broke open by Crispin Myers on the left side. It brings it out to the 15, and it's a first down.
Yeah, that was a nice run. See, now they got a fresh set of downs. Now they're out of that end zone area where a safety could be in play. So now it's time, maybe keep running the ball and maybe throw it. We'll see what happens. I would expect something to Patel here sometime soon.
Yeah, Patel has 2 long touchdowns tonight. And Dentino, the quarterback, has really thrown well tonight. 2 long touchdown passes. And they're going to pass it here. He is looking down the field. Tons of time for Dentino. He throws it out, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Phillipsburg. This is going to be brought out to the 40-yard line. Nice job by Cade Schwinn as he was covering number 11 for Plainville. That was Riken Brown, and just when I said that he was having a pretty good night throwing, he throws a pick.
Yeah,
So
Plainville had 3 receivers that ran about a 7-yard curl, and then over there, number 11 ran that nice post. Excellent coverage there by Phillipsburg.
And the first turnover of the night.
Yep, that's the turnover battle is a big play of the game. We kind of
Absolutely.
talked about that in our pregame talk or whatever, and that's first turnover of the night. Phillipsburg ultimately almost had 5 of them in the first half, got them all back, but now they get their own ball in Plainville territory after the interception.
Yeah, ball at the 40-yard line, hand up the middle. That's Burrish, and not much going there. It gets back to the original line of scrimmage. One thing I did notice that the player who made the interception, that's Cade Schwinn, he is on the sideline trying to walk off some sort of injury, and
Yeah, at the end of that interception, it looked like he kind of tripped up over one of his own players, and I wonder if there might have been just a little shin action. It never feels good when you go shin to shin.
No. Burrish comes out, and he's not happy with himself, but that's going to be 2nd and 10 now for Phillipsburg. That's Caleb Leidig back in the backfield. He gets the handoff, and again, not much there. Caleb Leidig. He is the a sophomore running back.
One thing I'm noticing is, it's a lot of young kids out there for Phillipsburg. He's had a sophomore running back. He's had a pretty decent impact and a lot of speed in that backfield. So if you're looking forward, I know it's the first game of this season, but if you're looking forward, Phillipsburg, they're going to have some kids coming up, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and they've got a pretty large roster there, 2A, and Plainville is 1A. As referees stop action here for a minute, and looks like one of the offensive linemen is going to check out. That's Blaze Christie. Looks like he might be a little banged up, and in to replace him is Jesse Detmer.
Yeah, I think that was just an equipment thing, equipment malfunction. He got to come out for a play. He'll go right back in.
So we're getting there's a little mix-up in the backfield, and Hornick is breaking tackles.
Wow.
Holy smokes. If he has broken it again, and Hornick is finally upended at the 25-yard line, and he should have lost at least 5 yards on that play.
Wow, he just made his way through traffic, broken tackles. He should have lost, like you said, about 5 yards, and, man, what a play there from him.
Yeah, Hornick is 5'9", 153 pounds.
Wow.
And but I tell you what, it's just your speed and determination and just being a great athlete. As I said before, he's a state champion in hurdles and won 2A last year, and so he's a heck of an athlete. And so Plainville had the opportunity to stop in the backfield, but it is 1st and 10 now with just under 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Back to pass. And wide open and caught at the 11-yard line.
Wow.
Yep, Crispin got a nice pass out there, and then Cade Schwinn, who just came back in from a little injury. It looks like he's okay now, Tate.
Yeah, that was a nice throw there. Wow, it was beat his defender right there about the probably about the 17-yard line. And man, I tell you what, Phillipsburg running on all cylinders on offense and defense both. Plainville looking for a stop here. They almost need the stop here because Phillipsburg offense, they're going to keep running that clock down when they have the ball.
E.J. Hall, split right. Burrish back in the backfield. It looked like maybe a quarterback-center exchange issue, but nonetheless, it worked out as Springer gets it out to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of like you said, a center quarterback exchange. They've kind of had issues with that all game. It's something that, it's the first game of the season.
Yep.
Nothing to practice next week won't fix. So, but now you're set up with a 2nd down and 6. And the first down's the 1-yard line. So I would just look for the end zone so you don't have to try 4 more times for 2 yards. But
the center tonight is Ty Hornick, a 5'11", 273-pound sophomore. We've been talking about sophomores tonight.
Yep.
Hornick in motion. It's a handoff up the middle. Burrish, he loses the ball, and Plainville picks it up. Not sure the number on that, but he's finally brought down at midfield.
Wow. There's the turnovers. Now we're even 1-1 on the turnover battle. Plainville across the 50-yard line. A huge return. And Plainville needs some answers quick. And right now they're in good shape to do so.
And that is the sophomore, Crispin Myers, number 10, who picks up the fumble and rumbles it back probably a good 40 yards. I didn't see where the original line of scrimmage was.
Yeah, it would have been at the, I think it was like
Inside
to say it was
the
like
10.
a 7-yard line.
Okay.
So that's a
43.
Yeah, that's great return. Plainville set up in good shape at the 50.
So let's see if Plainville can capitalize on this with a minute 24 back to pass. And he is going for Patel again, and it is caught at the 16-yard line. I think it was just bad timing there by the Panther defender. I think he may have jumped a little bit earlier, but here we go again. Another big pass, and Plainville has an opportunity to punch this in as the ball is at just outside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, those are the plays that are working for the Cardinals right now, those long passes. Sure, they threw an interception last time, but that was good defense. This time, just the ball wasn't high-pointed, and luckily Plainville now inside the 20.
There is a fumble. No,
I think it was forward.
Yeah, it was a forward pass. Crispin, the pass was intended for Crispin Myers, and he was not able to bring that in.
Yeah, they're trying to go for that short pass there, which I don't blame them. They're not doing much running the ball.
Yeah.
So far, so I would expect them to try to run the ball here on the 2nd down and maybe go for something short. But them short passes haven't been there for Plainville. It's been those long, deep ones.
It's been the long, deep ones, and Dentino, the quarterback, is 2 tall wide receivers.
Very tall.
Yeah, 6'4" is Ari Patel. And back to pass is Dentino. He is looking for a receiver. He's going to throw in the back of the end zone. It's well out of bounds for Patel, and with a minute 3 left to go, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's one of those times that a tall wide receiver comes in handy. That time the ball was just thrown a little bit out of the end zone, so there was not a chance. But, if that ball's there at the back pylon, Patel, he's got the height to be able to pull that in. But now it's a 3rd down and 10 from the 16.
So David Williford, the other wide receiver, was also in that play, but looks like he might be on the sideline as Patel is split right. Reich and Brown to the left. It goes in motion. It's a fake handoff and nowhere to go for Dentino. Tackle for about a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, the run game is just not there for Plainville. That the D-line for Phillipsburg's all over it. And so this 4th down and long, Plainville has no choice but to air it out here. So call it a loss of 3 yards there.
4th and 13, 35 seconds left to go in a 3rd quarter, and we do have a timeout on the field. The Cardinals want to talk about this. They know the importance of how crucial it is being down 2 scores to get a touchdown out of this drive. And we'll find out what play they run when we come back. This is Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes, from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Play of the night for the Plainville Cardinal offense. 34 seconds left to go in the third quarter. They are down 27-12. They are facing a 4th and 13 inside the 20 of the Panthers. Back to pass, and it is overthrown, intended for Patel. Well covered there in the end zone. And it will be a turnover on downs, and Dentino just tried to thread the needle there, Tate, and just was not able to connect, and it's first down and 10 for the Panthers.
Yeah, I think if Dentino throws that just a little bit lower, that had a really good chance of being a touchdown there, but that was just a little bit too high for Patel to reach up and grab, so now it's going to be Phillipsburg's ball.
Well, we kind of figured that was going to be the plan coming out of that timeout. Yep. They were going to have to throw the ball, obviously way too far for them on a 4th and 13, and instead of going for a short patch, they went for the whole thing, and which I don't blame them. But Phillipsburg now has the ball at their own 17-yard line. Here's a handoff to Baresh up the middle and gets a couple of yards out to the 22.
Yeah, I noticed there's Plainville. They're trying to stack the box there because they know that Phillipsburg is going to try to run it up the middle, but as soon as Plainville decides to stack the box, Phillipsburg is going to run it outside. So.
Yep, and they've seen plenty of Tanner Hornick tonight.
Yep.
And I know you're keeping stats over there. I'd be interested to see how many yards rushing he has tonight. He averaged over 12 yards a carry last year.
Yep.
As a junior. But that ends the third quarter. So Phillipsburg put some points on the board. It's right when we came back from halftime. Plainville was unable to put any. Let's see what Phillipsburg has up their sleeve as we start the fourth quarter here in just a moment. You are watching Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
A special thanks to our Plainville Game Time Boosters, Wilkins Manufacturing, H&C Oil Operating, and Stahl's Products. These proud supporters stand behind the Plainville students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Mr. K's Food Town, First State Bank of Plainville, Norton, Hill City, Hoxie, and Holdridge, Nebraska, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
We're back at Panther Stadium. Just starting the fourth quarter, Panthers with a 27-12 lead over the Plainville Cardinals. Just a couple of score updates for you. They're all tied up in the third quarter, Norton and Oakley at 14. And this says it's in the halftime, but Decatur Community over Greeley County 52-6 at the half. There is another exchange issue with the Panthers again, and we got an injured Cardinal on the field, but Burrish is going to be backed up as for a loss of
So
a
maybe
yard or so.
Maybe a loss of a yard, yeah.
Gave him some little bit of forward momentum. So now it's 3rd and 7, and here's the thing. This is a huge stop now opportunity for Plainville because Phillipsburg has been super effective tonight running the ball. They want to wear down that clock like they have all game. And it is it's a pitch out, and there's a flag on the play as we'll see who what the call is on the sideline there. Holding on the offense. So that was that'll wipe out Cade Schwenn's run there. I don't know if he would have gotten the first down or not, but that's going to set Phillipsburg back.
Yeah, I think it was just short of a first down, so I think Plainville's going to just take the loss of yardage. I mean, they could decline it, make it a fourth down, but no, they're going to send it back.
Yeah, so referee's checking with Coach McMillan of the Cardinals and what he wants to do, and Coach McMillan said march him back. So that's going to put the ball just outside of the 10-yard line for the Panthers. So it could bring up a long 3rd and 17. And I think at this point, with 11 and a half left to go in the game, Tate, I don't see any reason why you would want to put it up in the air. You've got a pretty good punter. Run the ball and see what happens here. Hornick in motion. This is why I'm not a coach. And it is picked off at the 30-yard line. That is not what Coach Coombs wanted. That's the last thing he wanted.
And you kind of called it, though, run the ball there. Let the clock run. Hopefully get, 8, 9 yards at best, and then you're set up for a fourth down and short where you could probably get it. But, interception, this is where Plainville could turn things around as we have a injured Cardinal on the play.
Yeah, so Springer he overthrew it. He knew he did. He's not happy with himself. But we do have an injured Cardinal at the 35, and not sure, but it almost looks like it might be a cramp the way their coach might be massaging his calf muscle there.
Now Plainville's up on the turnover battle, and, they're still down 2 scores, but Plainville in Phillipsburg territory now. They have a chance to score and maybe hold Phillipsburg again, get the ball back.
Yep.
It's everyone's ball game still, but like we said earlier, them 2-score ball games, especially in these Mid-Continent League battles, a battle that Phillipsburg's won 3 times in a row. It's still anyone's ball game, don't get me wrong, but Plainville's got a lot of work to do here.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left. The injured player out there for Plainville is Ryken Brown, and he's going to walk off under his own power. And it almost looks like they're working on somebody else on the Plainville sideline.
They're not used to this cold, shivering weather,
No.
Geez, as we say, it's only 61 degrees outside, but it's only going to get colder from here on out, Steve.
Yeah, you could have fooled me. I would have said probably in the 50s, but, So let me see if I can get you some more score updates here in the area. Clay Center over Abilene, 7-0. Clay Center's not really in the area, but Smith Center and Chapman are tied up at 6, and both those games are at the end of the third quarter. Okay, let's see what Plainville can do here as plenty of time and just throws the ball away, and probably the right thing to do for Nintino.
Yep.
Nobody was open, and great job by Phillipsburg on the coverage there.
Yeah, he had nobody to throw to downfield, so smart play by Joey just to throw it away. Take your medicine. 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Stops the clock also at 11.
So at times tonight, Plainville has had some really good success throwing the ball, and he's got his 2 tallest receivers out there. And he is sacked. It is an incomplete pass. It is an incomplete pass as his arm was moving forward, but he got smacked hard. That's Pentino and Dentino, excuse me. And so it goes as an incomplete pass.
Yeah, the number 14 for Phillipsburg, he's had a couple of those plays tonight where he's broken up the backfield, especially on that one. That was close to being even more dangerous than it was. Luckily, Dentino was throwing the ball down the field. Now it's a 3rd down and 10, 2 back-to-back incompletions.
Yeah, that was big Owen Miller, 6'3", 183-pound linebacker. He's a sophomore. We've been talking. There's some really good sophomores on both of these teams tonight.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of players for both sides coming back next year, so if we're looking forward that far.
Yeah. So Dentino, shotgun formation, he finds Patel, and it is caught, and he is going to dive in for that. That is close to a touchdown.
Right at the 1.
Boy, he is down at the 1, but what a catch. What a catch. He almost ripped it out of the hands of the defender, it looked like, and now we got multiple players down. I think cramps are starting to kick in here. We got a player down for Phillipsburg and a player down for Plainville, so we're gonna take a. Well, the Plainville player is he is up and kind of jogging off. That's Patel under his own. He's the one that just made the play, but there was no referee there on the goal line. I thought he maybe had tried to dive in. He did try to dive in, but
yeah, I think his knee was just down right at the 1 yard line. It's a tough call for a referee, to make it down all the way.
So as we look at the replay, it was close, but they're going to put him down like at the 1 inch line, just outside the white mark.
Man, I think the tip of that ball's on the orange line. That's close.
So 10:48, and Hornick tried to stand up, but we've had numerous players tonight with cramps, and it's just trying to get these kids stretched out. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick timeout as they are working on Tanner Hornick on the sideline. Just a really quick timeout as they try to pick him up off the field. It's going to take him a little time to get off, but let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. This is Nex-Tech Game Time TV.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
So Hornick gets off under his own power off the field, but obviously the cramps are hurting. But here is a quarterback keeper, and it is going to be a touchdown by Dentino. Just took it himself, found a small hole that his left side of his offensive line created and got into the end zone. And so they have no choice. They have to go for 2 points here.
Yep, I think you have to go for 2, make it a 7-point ball game. And man, another Cardinal down. Another cramp. Eat your bananas, guys. Come on.
Oh, man.
Drink your pickle juice.
Well, pickle juice, yeah.
Yep.
But here's the interesting thing. They're going to go for the extra point. It looks like they're lined up. Ditter is back out there, and he's had 2 extra points partially blocked tonight.
Yeah,
no way we would see a fake extra point.
I don't think so. I think they're betting on Phillipsburg making a mistake on offense, and it's a tough choice as a coach. It's not choices that I would want to make. It's just choices that I would like to broadcast. But
right,
I think they're just going to go for the field goal, make it 8 points, and maybe stop Phillipsburg, go back down, score on the other end, and put it in for 2.
And plenty of time. 10:43 left on the clock in the fourth quarter. Plainville's down by 9. Try to get an extra point.
That also kind of sets Phillipsburg up. You know what they're going to do as soon as they get the ball.
Right.
Run the ball.
They're just going to run the ball and
run
we're down the clock.
Yep,
absolutely.
So Plainville on special teams, at least when they get a kick, they need a good kick down the field. They need to stop Phillipsburg, inside the 30 at least, and just try to get that ball back as now the players slowly walking off. Just a lot of cramps here in this fourth quarter, third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, a little chillier than what they're used to. And so that is, for Plainville, that is number 11. I think that was, again, folks, we're having to look at rosters on our phones. That's Riken Brown, and I think that may be in the second cramp he's had tonight. So Plainville is going to set up for the extra point. Ditter is the kicker, and the holder is Dentino. Tried to bring this game within 8. Ooh. Oh, boy, a bad snap, and Dentino, nothing he can do.
That's a tough one right there. You're still down 9.
Yep, you hate to see that. And just special teams tonight has not been the strong point for Plainville. And so for Phillipsburg, it's still a 2-point lead, or a 2-score lead, 27-18. 10:43 left in the game. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back for the rest of the fourth quarter. This is Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens and his team have over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
We're back at Panther Stadium. Extra point, was no good on a bad snap, but the good news is for the Cardinals, they did score, and they are now to within 9. It's 27-18 with Phillipsburg with the lead. Just a couple score updates for you. Clay, let's see here. Smith Center is tied with Chapman, still at 6-all in a very, very tight game. Other games, Lincoln over Ellis, 56-14.
Wow.
And that is in Ellis, I believe. Oh, it's an onside kick, but it is not going to go far enough.
Yep.
There's the hanky.
They tried it. That's a little sneaky.
Hey, I don't blame Coach McMill.
I don't either.
That didn't even go through my mind, an onside kick. And so it didn't work out. And unfortunately for Plainville, that's going to put the ball at the 48-yard line in their own territory. So it was a risky gamble. It didn't pay off, but let's see how Plainville's defense responds.
Yeah, Phillipsburg now down at the 48-yard line in Plainville territory. 10:42 left on the clock. They're going to run the ball. There's no other choice. Last drive throwing an interception. You don't want to give the ball back to Plainville with much time left. So
absolutely,
I'm expecting a lot of runs right up the middle and maybe to the outside.
Springer under center. And just like you called it, is a handoff up off the left side. That's Burrish. Blake Burrish picks up probably 5 yards on that. We'll give him 5 yards. And there is another Cardinal down with cramps and get some help up off the field. And looks like he's going to be okay. That's number 50. Nope, that's number 51, Caden Rubottom. But he's going to come out, and Patel's going to come in to his place. Rubottom is a senior, 160-pound senior, and he plays linebacker. So it's a 2nd down and 6. Handoff up the middle. Guess who? It's Hornick with flag on the play.
I think there was holding there.
I believe so, and that would kind of explain the hold that Hornick had there. Hornick got it down at the 31, but it's going to come back.
Yeah, I couldn't see the number, but it looked like a pretty blatant hold there. That ref threw his flag in there like it was baseball.
Yeah, he meant business on that one. He was right in there. So that's going to put the ball back closer to the 48 or 49-yard line. Actually, they're checking with Coach McMillan. What do you want to do here? Holding. And, I mean, you got to march them back.
Yep.
I think that's really the only call you can make. And so, actually, it's going to put the ball back in Phillipsburg territory at their own 49-yard line. So we got 10:19 left in the game. 2nd and 12 now for the Panthers as the Cardinals are trying to strap it up here on the defense and stop this rushing game of Phillipsburg before time runs out on them.
Yep. 2nd down and 12. Expecting another run. Let the clock run. I think that's all you need to do.
Yep, and there's another handoff up the middle. This one goes to Schwinn. Cade Schwinn gets it across the 50 and out to close to the 44-yard line.
Yep.
Gain of 5? No, more than that.
7.
It's 7.
Yep.
Now it brings up 3rd and 5. This is a big defensive play here for Plainville. If they can get a stop, they still have to score twice.
Yep.
They're down by 9 points with 9.5 left to go in the ball game. Phillipsburg has won 3 in a row, looking for the 4th consecutive win over Plainville in this long history of rivalry. Schwinn in motion, now in I formation. Here's a handoff, and it's a fumble, but it's picked up just barely by Burrich. Didn't look like a clean handoff. So now you got an interesting call, right? You got 4th and 5 at the 44-yard line.
I would almost, I don't know, I would almost try to punt it, put it inside the 20, just stick them back there.
A little coffin corner punt.
Yep. But at the same time, I don't know. It's a tough choice for a coach.
It is. And, Plainville's probably wondering, okay, what are they going to do? It looks like they're going to try to run some kind of a play. There's no punting formation. Decatur Community over Greeley County 52-6 tonight. That is a final. Hornick in motion, back to pass, and it is tipped and almost caught.
That was risky.
That was very risky because now Springer is actually not too bad of a pass, but his receiver Cade Schwinn was just not able to come up with the reception. So what happens here, Tate? Now you give Plainville some new life with 8:10 left to go in this ball game, down by 9.
Yep.
Plainville's got the ball at their own 44-yard line, and we know they can throw the ball.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens, but with 8:10 left on the clock, you're down by 9. You're going to have to get a quick score here. You're going to have to force Phillipsburg to get the ball back and make a mistake. So I'm expecting some passing here in this drive.
Shotgun formation for Plainville. Dentino back to pass, plenty of time. Great protection there by his offensive lineman. And he finds a wide open receiver, and it is down past the 35-yard line of Phillipsburg. That's going to be a first down. The Owen Brewster with the reception. Okay, they're going to say Ari Patel. So Patel's number 5, Brewster's number 6. Either way, it's a complete pass. We're now under 8 minutes left to go in the ball game. Plainville is going to be airing this out probably for the remainder of the game since they're down by 2 scores. And here's another complete pass. This one goes to David Williford. So that goes inside the 25 down to the 24. Brings up a second down and a short 2. Dentino has got an arm. He's had 2 long touchdown passes tonight. Let's see if they try to go for it all on this play. Dentino, coverage broken. He just throws it away.
Yeah, that was just a broken play there.
Yep. Yeah, pass intended for Patel, and just wasn't much there. Obviously, they're in 4-down territory. It's 3rd and 2. Ball at the Panther 24.
Yeah, I think from here on out, everything's 4-down territory no matter where you are for Plainville. So, other pass incoming.
So Dentino shotgun formation. Got Patel to the left. You got Williford to the right. Excuse me.
There's first down.
They did it again.
Yep.
Tell you what, Dentino has got a good arm, but he's got a good bark too.
Omaha.
That's right. So encroachment on the Panthers, and now the Plainville Cardinals have the ball at the Panther 19-yard line, a fresh set of downs. 7:07 left to go, and the Cardinals trying to punch it in quickly because they're down by 9 points and they need the ball back again. Dentino dropping back, and he threw it right to
I think that's EJ.
The EJ Hall, and EJ Hall is going to bring it all the way back for a touchdown. No flags on the play.
Wow. 81 yards.
Just right idea by Dentino, but I just don't think he saw Hall.
Nope.
And, Hall's a big kid, 6'1", 178 pounds, and, Dentino is beside himself right now, and he, he's had a heck of a ball game tonight, but that just came at the most opportune time.
Yeah,
inopportune time.
Like you said, he had the right idea. He had the player on the screen, and then he had that hitch 5 yards out, which was open, but he probably just didn't see E.J. Hall. It's easy to miss those defenders back there. Now Phillipsburg up 3 scores.
Yep, and Zane Shields trying to make this 34, and it was just not a good snap.
Yep.
Not a good hold. Well, the snap came along the ground, and so anyway, the extra point is no good. 6:51 left to go in the ball game. Phillipsburg is opening this up 33-18, the lead over the Plainville Cardinals. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. This is Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Stretch out a little bit more pregame, fellas.
Drink some more water.
Yep.
Did I unplug? No, I don't think so. I don't hear him. 6:51 left to go in the ball game. Phillipsburg with a 81-yard interception return for a touchdown by senior E.J. Hall on an errant pass by the Plainville Cardinal quarterback, Joey Dentino. And here's the kickoff. It is deep again at the 10. And here is another reverse, and it's just not working tonight.
It just takes too much time, I think.
It does. It takes way too much time. Ball was caught at the 10 and only brought out to the 14. And so you see a little bit of hands on the hips and a little dejection there on the Plainville side. Look, they're not out of the game yet. They're down by 15. 6:44 left to go. There's time. But if you're going to do something, you got to start doing it now.
Yeah, they're going to start airing out deep. I'm expecting. Can't remember his name. Number 5, Patel. I'm expecting Patel and number 2 over there on the other side. There are going to be a lot of lobs up there, trying to see what they can do.
Final: Oakley 20, Norton 14. That's a final.
Last year, Oakley an 11-man as well, from what I hear.
All right, so Dentino back to pass, and he finds this receiver that is good enough for a first down. Nice completion there to Riken Brown. And
short.
Yeah, they're going to mark him actually a couple yards short. So it's going to bring up a second down and a long one as the clock continues to tick. 6:15 left to go in the ball game. Phillipsburg 33-18 lead over Plainville, and Dentino's going to try to redeem himself here, and he finds Patel wide open across the middle out to the 39-yard line, and let's call it 38, and that is a first down. It'll stop the clock as the chain gang readjusts there on the far sideline, and for just under 6 minutes, Tate.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Dentino there. He scrambled right through the pocket, found his open receiver, and I mean, that was a heck of a throw, right on the money. See if he can do it again.
So the Gun Pro style offense run by Plainville. Dentino back to pass. He's just going to launch it up, and he had a receiver, and over the outstretched hands of his wide open receiver. That's Riken Brown, and I tell you what, if they would have connected on that, that would have most likely been a touchdown, except the coverage guy over there was Tanner Hornick.
Yeah, he would have probably got caught there short, but still, that would have been a huge play there for Plainville.
Yeah, Dentino just tried to drop it over the shoulder of Brown.
It's a great pass.
It was, and it's just not able to connect. 5:37 to go in the ball game. 2nd and 10 for Plainville. They're trying to get down the field for a quick score. This is a handoff, and it picks up about 5 yards on the play. That's Crispin Myers with the carry. Brings it out to the 43 as the clock continues to run, and I think I may understand the reasoning behind that call, but it's taken 15, 20 seconds off the clock. Valuable time, because now we're at 5 minutes in the game. Dentino back to pass. He's rolling right, looking for an open receiver. He's got Brown wide open, and he didn't see him down the field.
Yeah, at full sprint, it's really hard to make that pass unless you're, Lamar Jackson or something. But I mean, that's a tough pass to make there.
That would have been
deep.
a very tough pass. But yeah, Riken Brown was wide open.
It doesn't hurt to try, though, at this point of the ball game there.
And now it's kind of now or never for Plainville. It's 4th and 5. 4:58 left to go in the ball game. They're down by 15, and
I think this is the ball game here on this next play.
One thing that Dentino has done very well tonight is getting the front line of the defensive line of Plainville to Phillipsburg to jump offside. Let's see if he can get them, catch them sleep again. Dentino back to pass, and it is a short pass up the middle, and it's Patel. I believe that. No, I don't think that was Patel.
Can't see the number from here.
I can't either. Happens when you get old. Your eyesight gets. Okay, so they're saying number 6, Owen Brewster. But that is good enough for a first down, but the clock is still rolling. I believe Plainville still has all 3 of their timeouts, but they got to conserve them because they have to go back and score again if they score this position. Back to pass, and it is wide open again, and he might score.
Wow.
He is going to score, but there's flags on the play. So what happened there was that was a nice pass to, who was that?
That was Noah Brewster again.
Yeah, that was Owen Brewster. But the problem is his lead blocker, Ryken Brown, I think may have been holding. That may have explained why Brewster was able to break out side and score a touchdown, but I think this one's coming back, Tate.
Yeah, it's going to be a first down at 20 upcoming. That was definitely the lead blocker up there. Actually, the ball's going to be placed all the way up to 26.
So
it's a spot. Is it a spot foul there?
I guess, and it's still first down and 10. So it's got to be a defensive. Well, they would have scored it. They would have given the
I'm not sure what happened there.
I'm not sure either. Dentino swings out to the left and tries to get it in to his receiver Williford, and goes into incomplete. We got 4:21 left to go in the ball game, and
if only we had replays, Steve.
I know. So
it's all right.
Yeah, we're on top of the press box here at Panther Stadium in Phillipsburg,
and now it comes on.
And it's getting cold. It's 58 degrees,
Yep.
a little slight breeze.
Yep.
I don't know. It feels like it's like 48 degrees. Our camera people are up here with us as well. As this is a handoff up the middle. This goes to Myers, and Myers is not going to get much. He may get 2 or 3 yards out of that, but the thing is, he did get out of bounds, and the clock continues to run as we approach the 4-minute mark of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing right now is getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. But, now we're under 4 minutes. Clock stays running as he didn't get out of bounds. So 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Cardinals. A touchdown here and an onside kick is what's needed.
Back to pass. Dentino dodges a couple tackles, but he is not able to break that 3rd one. And that is a sack, and that's a costly one. And that brings up 4th down and 6. Nice job in there by interior lineman Blaze Christie, the 5'9", 231-pound defensive lineman. And Plainville's going to have to take a timeout here with 3:31 left to go. We will be right back. You are watching Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes, from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with professional fire equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
We are back at Panther Stadium, and it's kind of now or never, Tate, for Plainville. With 3.5 left to go in the ball game, down by 15. They have the ball at the Panther 27-yard line, but they're facing a 4th and 12.
Yeah, you could go for a first down here, but I think the end zone is what's needed for sure. Let's go deep as they are. Here we go.
Patel is not going to catch it. In fact, it is intercepted. Is that Tanner Hornick? He's been kind of the one covering Patel tonight, and Dentino just he had to throw it somewhere, and so that's another turnover. And so for Plainville, that's pretty much going to seal the deal here. But you never know. We've seen a pick six tonight.
Yeah.
We've seen long pass. So you just never know what is going to happen. So that's why you play till the clock shows all zeros.
And
So
I mean, Plainville still has their 2 timeouts, which will help, but Phillipsburg's just going to run the ball up the gut.
yep, and we're down that clock. So the ball just outside the 5-yard line, and it's a long run for Burrish. He picks up close to 10 yards, and looks like they're going to give him just short of that.
Yep, call it a gain of 9 there from Burrish. 2nd down and 1 coming up for Phillipsburg. This is where it's all decision time here from the coach of Plainville deciding whether he's going to take timeouts or not. But right now he's going to let the clock run. I'm assuming Phillipsburg is going to wait until they see the ref count his hands down.
Yep, get that clock, play clock down to the last second.
Yep. Yep, he's ticking, so
2:35 left to go in the ball game. It's just a little handoff to Burrish, and Burrish knows this game's probably in the bag, but that's not going to stop him. He's going to fight for every inch out there, and he was able to pick up the first down. And with 2.5 minutes left to go in the ball game, I think Coach Coombs might be trying to get some of his younger kids in there to maybe get a little bit of varsity time, but they're still going to stick with Springer as the quarterback, I believe.
Yep.
And off to the right side, picks up a yard or 2 on that play, and that was number 11. Caleb Leedig.
Yep, I think Plainville's just they're not deciding to take their timeouts. I think Phillipsburg's just going to keep on running the ball, and I think we're going to take it home with a Phillipsburg W.
So Phillipsburg will start the season 1-0. Plainville coming into this game ranked 5th in the preseason polls for Class 1A. Has another rush up the middle. Leidig is the carrier on that one, and just approaching the 1-minute mark in this ball game. But like I was saying, Plainville comes into this game ranked number 5, in Class 1A. Phillipsburg, they had some mentions, but they weren't in the top 5, and you never know. Norton going down tonight to Oakley.
Mm-hmm.
That's
going
to make things interesting in the MCL.
Yes, it will. And Phillipsburg starting off their season with a W over Plainville. That probably feels pretty good as they're in victory formation. They're going to take it home with a win tonight, as that should just about close out the game. And what a game by both sides, really. I mean, it's the first game of the year. Both teams are learning stuff about themselves, about each other.
Yep.
The coaches are learning about his players as the team's getting ready to shake hands and call it a night. Phillipsburg is going to walk away to the win 33-18 tonight here under their home crowd.
Beautiful night for a football game. It was a clean game tonight. So as we wind down, and it is officially a final 33-18. The Phillipsburg Panthers over the Plainville Cardinals. We will take a short break. We'll come back to wrap things up here at Panther Stadium in Pittsburgh. You are watching Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
A special thanks to our Plainville Game Time boosters, Wilkins Manufacturing, H&C Oil Operating, and Stalls Products. These proud supporters stand behind the Plainville students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Mr. K's Food Town, First State Bank of Plainville, Norton, Hill City, Hoxie, and Holdridge, Nebraska, along with professional fire equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens and his team have over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment. A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time boosters, Dr. Ron Junime and Dr. Riley Junime, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with professional fire equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
It's a final here at Panther Stadium in Phillipsburg. Phillipsburg comes in almost ranked in the state in 2A and upsets. I guess you can call it an upset if you're ranked number 5 like Plainville was. So Phillipsburg with the upset tonight, 33-18, and good clean game, and so a good start for the Plainville Cardinals, or excuse me, for the Phillipsburg Panthers tonight.
Yeah, it was. This extends their streak to 4 games in a row over Plainville here as they play a game once a year. So Phillipsburg's looking pretty good so far, rushing the ball down the field. They did all night long. Plainville, they had some flashes here and there with some long passes and touchdowns, to Patel. But ultimately, Phillipsburg coming out on top in a tough, nitty-gritty type football game here to start off the 2025 campaign for both sides.
So just some finals that just kind of rolled in here. Smith Center beat Chapman tonight 16-6. That is a final. Let's see, what else do we have here? Great Bend over McPherson. So Great Bend wins their game tonight. And Oakley over Norton, as we had mentioned earlier, 20-14. Oberlin
there as well. As then we go back to Patel with another 42-yard pass, touchdown, making it 13-12, keeping the game close. And then the next freaking play onto a return. It is a 81-yard touchdown return from Hornick of Phillipsburg to make it 20-12 with the field goal being good there. Moving on, that was our first half score as we move on to the second half, as it was all Phillipsburg in the second half. A touchdown coming from Hornick with an 11-yard rush with an extra point being converted, made it 27-12. Plainville scored the next one to make it 27-18 with a Dentino 5-yard rush. And that was all Plainville had the rest of the night, because in the fourth quarter came E.J. Hill with a huge 81-yard pick six off of Dentino to make it 33-18 with the field goal not being good. So sorry I don't have the stats, but I can tell you how the points happened tonight. And so what a night here in Phillipsburg it was. Very exciting for both ends. I'm sure both of these teams are excited for what the season has to come.
Absolutely. So as we wrap things up tonight, just a few people that we want to thank. Our camera operators who are on top of the press box with us tonight, freezing alongside with us. We appreciate Carter and Gail. So a great job on the cameras. Our producer, Jason Pearson, and I'm going to call her the engineer, and that's Aubrey Broyles, rather. And so we appreciate all their hard work. And so, it's funny. You and I didn't meet officially until today.
Literally, yeah.
But, a couple things. We both called football games before. We're both Denver Bronco fans.
Oh, don't say that too loud. Might lose some viewers next week.
Well,
I don't know.
They might double. They might double my pay. So anyway, it's a good calling the game with
you. Yes, it was.
Tate.
Yes, sir.
All right. We look forward to next week. We're going to be in Norton as TMP, the TMP Marion Monarchs head up to Norton. That'll be our game time game next week. So we look forward to having you with us then. So for Tate Reynolds, and I'm Steve Stoltz, thanks for being with us tonight. We're going to wrap it up here. This has been Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1. Have a great night, everybody.
I've been lucky here. The